Hi, welcome to Pictures, Noise and Words. I'm Hedgy.
And I'm Paz.
And this is Paz, yes. Paz is back. He's back from the wildlands of pandemic land. Obviously, Paz hasn't been here. If you joined the channel in the last 18 months, Paz was always here. Then we had a pandemic, which was a bit of a problem. And we couldn't be here. So I've just been killing time until you got back, basically. And I've been treading water, and I'm up to here at the moment, so I'm glad you're back. So, I know stuff has been going on with Paz. Just because there's been a pandemic doesn't mean nothing's been happening. So, I've got one of his videos to play, and but we'll catch you up real quick. So, first off, the music. Paz is has is it a project or a band? It's a bit hard to. It's kind of somewhere in between, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd class it as a recording project.
Recording project.
Yeah, with reasons of. I can probably go into a bit later.
For reasons of geography and
and
the music
COVID-19 and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It had to remain as a recording project, unfortunately.
So it's the Spectre Beneath, and some of you will know that already. So we've got a video to show from the Spectre Beneath, but something quite interesting happened, didn't it, during the pandemic?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it now or later?
Ooh, should we just keep people waiting? You have to watch the video first, and then we'll talk about what exciting thing happened. Should we just get straight into the video first?
Let's go straight into it.
Warm everyone up. Okay, so this is a song called Voice in the Static. It's from this album, which is called The New Identity of Sydney Stone. I already know that, but you know, when you know something and it's written in front of you, you still have to read it, don't you?
I still made him buy one.
Yeah, I had to buy one, by the way.
Okay, right, for free.
Literally had to buy my own copy.
So much stress went into that.
Just because I've known him for 30 years, I still had to buy a copy. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it. Do you know how much it cost? Sorry.
Well, we can get into that if you want.
No.
At least £4.50. So this album's out now. There will be links underneath this video of where you can go and get it. But I think to start with, cop for this, as they say. You just, well, me mostly. Is it really weird sitting listening to your own song?
Best song ever, that. Yeah. That's a bit too pop for me, that one. A bit too poppy. Oh, yeah, so many times.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. That's the problem. You've heard it like 500 times while you're trying to make the thing, haven't you? So people who don't know Paz, Paz writes all the songs, and I mean, you kind of half produced most of the stuff, didn't you? It's just this latest one. It went through more of a process with other engineering going on.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Just want to touch on that video. It's supposed to be a lyric video, because I was running out of time and money. I can't afford to do another lyric video after doing the Clockwork Heart one. So I'll have a go myself. So I got this footage off this chap. I thought I really like that footage, and I started trying to put lyrics. It's harder than you think. Plus, I've not got the software to do it, so I was trying to do it on the fly. And I thought, you know what, footage is good enough as it is, and
it's a visualizer. It's a visualizer.
Yeah, and lyric videos, you actually read all the lyrics, so you just listen to it and just take in the imagery. So that's my excuse anyway for that.
But really, it was just too hard.
It was just too hard for me. Also on that last song, right at the end, just before the end, you hear a little note going like that. That's a complete mistake, because I did all the guitars and stuff like that, and it's a bum note, but a bum note that fit. I thought, and then there's 4 guitars going in that at the end there. So I found which guitar's doing that, and I found it. I thought, should I do it again? So no, that note works. So then I re-recorded that bit, so that note at the end is emphasised. Yeah, I'm not going to do a kind of 80s rock star thing. Go, yeah, I all meant it, man.
Yeah, man.
It really brought out the essence of the end of the song. Yeah, not gonna do it.
You made it your own. It is my own. Good point.
It was a bum note, and I think I like to think it's a skill that you can think, that mistake, that works, or that happens by chance.
Who was it said that? Gary Newman. I know this is going off slightly with Gary Newman, but Gary Newman said that's exactly what happened when he wrote Cars. Is that long note that starts, everyone knows Cars surely, but there's a very long high-pitched note that just goes dee, and he just runs and runs and runs. When he wrote the song, he was trying to think of a melody or something, and so he stuck his finger on the keyboard waiting for inspiration. Inspiration didn't come, and then he thought, actually that sounds pretty cool. So it's like almost the same thing. Like you exit, and I think that's one of the kind of, that's a skill, that he's being able to see something even when it's not what you intended, and say, oh, that's actually quite good, kind of thing. Because I imagine there are people who want what they had in their head and nothing else, and when anything goes wrong they immediately throw it away, and without sort of going, well, actually that's that sort of serendipity, that works and everything. So I think that's, and you probably get that because I know that you still have riffs that you wrote when you were 18 on tape or whatever, because you never know when it's going to fit something under the project or whatever, do you? Sort of thing. So and I think you've probably your whole life of collecting bits of stuff that you've done and keeping them all means that you've kind of taught yourself to know a thing that works when you hear it.
And there is a riff on this new album that I wrote when I was 16, 17.
So nearly 7 years ago now.
Yeah. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Hedgy. Sorry.
Checks in the post.
Yeah. Never throw ideas away, because you never know when they're going to fit or come back in. It's just what you think fits the song. If anybody wants to know, it's in song 5, 20 Shillings a Town it's called, and it's the heavy bit in the middle. It goes
It'll sound better than that.
Yeah, I was about 17 when I first did that. I think I've still got the original tapes as well. Yeah.
So speaking of things that you never know are going to happen, what happened during the pandemic?
Yeah, it's interesting. The first album, The Downfall of Judith King, was brilliantly received. It was amazing. The feedback we got was far beyond my expectations. It was brilliant.
From all the review sites.
Yeah, yeah. And I was thinking, perhaps I should, because at that point it was a recording project. So I thought, I wonder if I could do this on a live thing. And I was contemplating that, whether or not to put the effort in to do live stuff anymore. And then the pandemic hit, and we all got locked down for however long. So I thought,
what, 16 months, I think.
Yeah. Of course, we didn't know it's 16 months at the
No,
time.
no.
But
we finished for Christmas. Is that about World War One?
So Downfall of Judith King been out for 5-6 months, and I'm always thinking ahead of the next one, and I had the next one written, and I've always admired bands in the past, like the Judas Priest, Judas Priest, and like Iron Maiden and Deep Purple, and all these classic bands who did an album a year. Granted, the album was only like 35-40 minutes in some cases, and you'd get 5 or 6 great songs out of it. But the fact that it was content, wasn't it? And another album. Oh, we get another Whitesnake album, or we get another Judas Priest. Is so prolific in those early days, and I think it's something that we've lost. Even Van Halen first.
People go on 3-year tours now, don't they? And you think, well, what are they doing all the time?
Well, I think it's, I don't know. It's weird. I as someone who writes music, I can't see why you would stop writing music and not release it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was bringing up Metallica in this. I think I've mentioned this on the channel before. You could take Metallica, and they're like, eight years between albums, and say the album was an hour long. That means like they've written 8 minutes of music a year between 4 of them, and I think surely should be creating all the time, in my opinion. And
yeah, you should have 40 songs to choose from.
And perhaps they do, but
kind of thing. So you like, I need 10. I've got 40. Right? How do we?
And I think it helps build momentum. And I like to cite Love Bites at the moment. They do an album, or at least they release something every year. I think the pandemic's probably put them back on one, but they did 3 albums in 3 years, 4 years, with 2 EPs as well. So yeah, creating content and songs all the time, building your following, and I think it's something we've lost in the music industry. It's taken.
So anyway, what happened during the pandemic?
So with that in mind, I had the songs. We weren't going to do anything, or I thought everyone was up for it to do another one. And there's only 3 of us, so I said, "Do you want to do another album?" And they said, "Yeah." So the actual recording of it came together quite quickly. It's just when it all got recorded, that's I think I ended up hearing it too many times and just got utterly sick of it. And then I sent it off to the guy who mixes and masters it. He was a genius guy. I just could not get it. Guitar sound, just could not get it right. Couldn't get the bass right. And I wasn't happy with a few things. But it's one of those things, you just keep at it. And it probably ended up being delayed about 2 months. From where because I originally wanted it just a year after the first one. It ended up being 14 months, released at the end of November, which in hindsight is probably a little bit of a mistake, because I think released it a bit too late in the year for it to make any impact, which I'll get into in a second. So this one drove me to distraction, really. Even though I really like it, I also in the end I'd had enough of it by then. So when it did come out at the end of November, I thought I'll just release it and go and move on to the next one, because I had the next one almost finished. And I thought, well, the first one, what I did, I employed a PR company who were brilliant. You pay them some money and they put your music out there, and they got some really great reviews. Got even radio play and stuff like that from that first one. So I thought I'll use them again. the buggers had put up their prices by quite a significant amount. I thought, well, I did a good job, so paid my monies, and I think I only got about a quarter of the traction of the first one. Whether it's because novelty or perhaps it was released a bit too late in the year, I only got say, a quarter of the reviews that I did get, and nothing really seemed to happen through the end of November, December, and January. And I was so exhausted from it, doing it mentally, exhausted with it. I was more interested in doing the next one. I thought, you know what, I'll just leave it.
Let it go.
Let it go, and I'll concentrate on doing the new one, of which we started recording the new one in November. I was discussing it with both of them, both Consta and Elle, in January about it, and I sent all the files to Consta first to start working through the drums. And then in February this year, I get an email from this French guy. He's host of a rock and metal show on the radio in France somewhere. Basically telling me three things. First of all, he really enjoyed the album. Second thing, he actually I wasn't actually sure where he got the album from, but
I really enjoyed the album. I downloaded.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he got it from, but he might have got it from the original PR. Oh, I've missed a step actually. I'll go back a bit. So at the end of January, early February, I got an email from another PR company, costing the 10th of what I paid for the first PR company, and I thought, you know what, for this pitiful amount, why not? So I just sent them all the same stuff again, and I heard nothing for 2 weeks, thinking, oh well, never mind, I've not lost much. And then then a couple of weeks after that is when I got this email from this French guy saying, yeah, that's probably where he got the album from. It's this second PR company. And so yeah, love the album, love the song 5 Shillings a Town, and I'm going to be playing that on the rock and metal show today, later on this week. And then says, because I really like the album, I know someone who at a label who's always looking for new stuff, and I think he might like it. If you're interested in that, send him an email. So I had to think for a couple of days. I thought, you know what? Wow, what harm? Because it's not cost me anything. One of the few things that hasn't cost me something in this. It's not too in depth, this, is it? People find this interesting. So I sent this.
I'm sure there's one person still watching.
Yeah. So I sent this guy an email, name dropping the first guy. Would you be interested in that? Boom, sent it off. This is on a Tuesday afternoon. Heard nothing, thought nothing of it. Friday afternoon, I get an email from this chap I just emailed saying, this work of genius, it's a masterpiece, and we'd like to work with you. And that was the CEO of Wormhole Death Records. And that was basically it. From then, said, yeah, all right, let's do it. So so we signed a distribution deal because it's already been released to the public. They said, oh, let's re-release it through us, and that's what they did. So it got re-released through Wormhole Death Records worldwide. You know, so it goes through Sony and Warner, and it goes into Japan and South America and all these places. And that was came out at the end of May. So it's been released twice.
How cool is that?
So and it's all because I thought this. I think it's about 30 quid in the end for this second PR company. It was just a chance thing because they were cheap. What you know, it was they're not a bit of price. I think they were just touting for business, and so I sent that, and I got far more traction of that thing that cost 30 quid rather than 300. You just don't know, do you? So that got released at the end of May, and I've had a lot more radio play around the world. Amazing, from India. I think it's been played in Australia on radio, right across Eastern Europe. South America seemed quite keen as well, and America. and UK a couple of times as well.
So you need to crack Japan.
They just cracked Japan, yeah.
So you can go on tour there, and I can go with you just to carry your bag or something.
They did. Wimmel Death do have a Japanese office, so you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
And of course, this channel's huge in Japan.
Mm.
But that, you know, it is quite a thing, isn't it, to get a record company to pick you up, because you hear it all the time. Oh, such and such a band signed such and such a company, and all of that sort of thing. But really, you're talking about 0.1% of the bands that are out there actually get picked up by record labels for, you know, to distribute their stuff and everything. So, you know, I think it's an achievement. It's kind of, what's the right word? It's like a validation of the work, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of kudos.
I know you don't want to live for like someone's validation, but it doesn't hurt when it happens.
No,
kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's like, am I just shouting into the wind here, or is stuff actually, you know, beyond? Is there a market? Is there a wider market? Because it's invisible, isn't it? That's the problem with it. It's like this musical equivalent of doing this. You're just talking. You're on your own almost, and you don't know what you know. You don't know who's listening. Is anyone listening? What do they think about it when they have listened to it? So I think to get somebody like a record label that their job is literally to pick out the good stuff, you know, and try and make money out of it. Let's face it. For them to pick it up and go, yeah, you know what? This is really good. Can we distribute your stuff?
And it was amazing because there's no negotiation. There's no question like what's your future plans. It was, I really like this music. We'd like to release it through us, and then we'll talk about the next one you're doing. Yeah, straight off the bat, and that surprised me. That so perhaps I've been a bit too harsh on it, because some of the reviews I had from the because when I went through the second PR company, they'd obviously got a different set of clients, so I was getting more reviews from different places, and they were all amazing. You know, overwhelming at times. Think, hang on, it's not that good, is it? Because I actually have a downer on it, downer on the album,
heard it
because I've
lived
and breathed it for 12 months.
The problem with making anything is you only see the problems.
Yeah.
Even if the problems have now gone, it's like it's lodged in your head, like that note.
I can't.
All you can hear is that note and go.
I can't be objective about it anymore.
So,
and this one chap said it was that this record company should be offering me deals right now or something like that, because they thought it was that good.
And then they did.
And somebody did. Yeah. So I don't know how well it's done or how many money it's made. So I've got a meeting with them it'll be a couple of months. I think every 6 months we have a meeting about how well or how not well it's done.
Do they draw a chart and just go?
Okay, so down
you are here.
Yeah.
And there's a line where we get rid of you.
that may happen, but it's moment to release something and then it gets picked up and go through a label
and they get released worldwide. That's pretty good.
So
there will be links under this video, people.
Oh, and what is amazing as well, when you think about it, all the years I've been making music and doing tapes and sending it off to places, managers, agents and record companies, and then getting utterly disillusioned by all of that. I say, I'll just make music because I enjoy it and release it, and if anyone likes it, great. Record company comes along and it just drops them a lap when they're not even looking for one.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
And what is also interesting is the last song on it, called The Exclamation, bit of a fast one. The melody, Al just could not get the melody. It was very fast, and obviously with that language is not English isn't her first language. Just couldn't get the rhythm of it because of the fast words. So we had a bit of a chat about it, and so it's not working. This one, I thought, okay, let me have a think. So went away. I thought, shall I drop it and work on it and put it on the next one, or our version of it? So no, it needs to finish off because the last 5-6 songs is like a mini story, so it needs to finish off really. So it needs to go back on. So I'm going on of it. So I had a bit of a rethink, rewrote the whole of the vocal melodies, went back to Elle, said, this is a new version. What do you think? She said, oh yeah, that works much better. Yeah, so we'll try that. And then so that's the version that made it onto the album. And that song was picked out by one website as in the top number 8 in the top 25 metal songs of the whole year. I mean, wow, I don't know. It's unbelievable. You just don't know what's going to click with some people for something that I was about to drop, and we had to change the melody at the last minute because she'd already recorded it. I think it's not working, is it? So then I had to go away, rewrite it, come back, re-record it. I thought, that'll do.
But all you see is all the work.
Yeah.
And all you see is that, like, you feel like you might have cobbled it together and you got it over the line and all those sort of things.
That's what it felt like.
But anyone else hearing it just hears the finished product. Yeah. That's the thing. So you've got all this baggage that kind of drags it down in your mind.
I can't listen to it objectively.
So is that it? Plus, nothing else happened, I assume, while you've been gone?
The new album, we say we're working because we're all in lockdown. So done the last the last album. Might as well start recording the next one because we've got all the songs. And what year are we now?
It's 21 now.
July. We're in July. So Constance done all the drums for the new one. I've done 3/4 of the guitars. In fact, I've done all the guitars. There's just some bits I need to repair when the playing's not been good enough. And Vinny needs to do his solos. He's doing 3 solos on the new one.
Back.
Yeah, he's mad keen. He loves it. Did you see that video he posted? Thank you, mate. That was nice. So Vinny's coming back.
You probably have to tell people who you're talking about.
Vinny Assisi. He's an amazing guitar player from Brazil who did me 3 solos for this album. What a player! If you watch the Clockwork Heart video, he's in there shredding away. Far better player than I am. What a fantastic! So he's coming back for a few solos. I've got my friend Paul Dutton doing a solo because he's co-written one of the songs, and I've got 2 solos from Jeff Teets, who's a guitar player in prog metalers Mind Maze, a really good band. Don't think you've done it on this channel.
No, doesn't ring a bell.
Really good band. He's really good, really super player as well. So a few guest musicians, and Katie's been and done all the backing vocals, so that's all been done. I've done my backing vocals, so just working with Elle, who's done some of her backing vocals and some of the main lines. So we're getting there. Hopefully, my soft deadline is the end of September. I'd like to have it all done and dusted.
Cool. What's it called? You're not saying?
Probably
hasn't really got a name for it.
Could be called just simply Forsaken.
Okay.
Not some up its own arse long title. I was finding that when you start writing stuff out, it's a lot to type in it. It's a lot to put on a T-shirt. It goes around the back. Then you identity. So I just have Forsaken on your T-shirt.
Right then. Well, I guess that's all you've done then.
Well, there's I'm working on a new book as well.
Yeah, of course he is. He's writing another book.
Another book.
You've already written how many books?
Well, it's 4 full lengths, a novella, and 2 short stories. And this will be the 5th full length. It's I've always wanted to write a whodunit, so this is one of them. There's no cross.
What? Things I'm starting to think, what have I done during the pandemic? And it's amounting to watch Netflix.
Yeah. Since a lot of people on Facebook that I am friends with have just complained about it for 18 months. I thought, well, I don't want to do that, so I'll crack on and do stuff while I'm at home.
So you got a new book coming.
Yeah, I'm into the end game of that, so I'm hoping that should be at least the first draft done by week or fortnight, depending on how it goes.
All right, very soon then.
Yes,
but then you've got to edit it to death.
Well, this time I've been working with a couple of alpha readers, so I've been sort of editing it as I go along. So the huge editing job that normally comes with a book, I'd like to think I'm already halfway there. Because what the feedback I get from the alpha readers, I then go back and correct in what I've written already. So it'll end the first draft and then the second draft, and then start just fixing bits and bobs. Hopefully, it won't be a huge slog like editing normally is, because I've already done it as I've been going along.
Cool.
That's going to be called, I think, the Montgomery Canal Murder.
That's not going to fit on a t-shirt either.
I was going to call it something else, something long-winded, like my albums are. And I thought, it doesn't actually tell you what it is, because it's a straight up whodunit.
Because it's a book.
It's and I do like me Agatha Christie and stuff like that, and they are like sort of something mystery and this sort of murder, and the body in the library.
Murder.
So I thought, well, let's just stick with that, and stick with something traditional rather than something that doesn't really explain what it is.
Well, there you go. Something else for you to look out for. So, if you're still with us, congratulations. Give yourself a Smartie. Because I think we're up to about 3 hours now with this video. But this is Paz. Paz is back. I think we should move on and look at things, music and stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, I waffled on a bit there, because I don't tend to talk about it that much, you see.
No. I'm surprised how much you've said. It's usually like getting blood out of a stone trying to get to talk about stuff. So, right then. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very soon.
See you now.
Bye bye.